Thank you. Next up, please.
Hi, good evening, Chairman Luke and Chairman Rhodes, wherever you are, and distinguished committee. My name is Amy Moore. I'm from Waikele, and my number is 1589. As a registered voter in this in this state of Hawaii, I want to say that I strongly oppose this SB1 bill. When I voted for the 1998 constitutional amendment, I thought that I was voting to reaffirm natural marriage. That is a marriage between a man and a woman. I did not vote and will never vote to give any of you the power to redefine marriage. Give us, the people of Hawaii, the right to decide on this bill. Let it be our own decision to make. Put the blame on us, whatever the outcome may be. Or we will all, the people of Hawaii, put the blame on all of you. We are all in this together. We all have the right to believe what we believe. So let us decide, please. Thank you for your time, for listening to all of our testimonies, and may God bless you.
Thank you. At this point, let's take some questions so that we can let people who've been waiting to testify, get them to go home. Okay, questions? If not, thank you, testifiers, for coming back second time. Okay, we'll take the next set of testifiers. Please come up.
Good evening. My name is Sasha Moore, and my number is 1594. I'm 18 years old and a newly registered voter here in Hawaii. I would first like to thank all of you for your patience to endure through the many testimonies and for the heart to allow the people to speak out. I am in opposition to Senate Bill 1 for various reasons, but only wish to point out a few. I understand that as the House of Representatives, you have total control on what to do with this bill, but I would like to ask that you let the people vote on this so that no matter the outcome, it will be the future we chose for ourselves. If not put this to a vote, I ask that you would at least bring the bill to a regular session to allow the proper time to thoroughly think through such an important topic. As far as the context of the bill, the religious exemptions deeply concern me. This new bill would take away many churches and personal business owners' First Amendment rights, forcing them to go against their religious belief system. I understand that there are exemptions already in the bill, but don't feel that they're descriptive enough to protect churches that wish to open their doors to the public. The bill states that this is for marriage equality. However, I feel that many religious rights are being taken away from so many others, and extra rights are being given to the same-sex marriage couples. Thank you for listening, and God bless.
Thank you very much. Next up, please come up.
Aloha.
Aloha.
My name is Member Lopes, number 1421. I oppose this bill. I have three very important reasons why I oppose this bill. The first and most important reason is that this is not of God. God created the earth, He created man and woman. The second is that God created man and woman so that they can procreate and fill the earth. Third is the most precious to me, is how my 17 mo'opunas will be taught about sexual preference in school if this bill is passed. I stand for the children of Hawaii. It is scary to think that you, the committee, holds their future in your hand. My ohana and I oppose this bill and ask that you vote no on SB1. Let the people decide. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, please.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Chair Rose, Chair Luke, distinguished members of the committee. My name is Lynette Vile. I'm from Nanakuli, and my number is 1506. First of all, I would like to bless each one here and each person on the committee. May the Lord bless your ears so you may hear the people's voices. May He bless your eyes so that you can see clearly. May He bless your heart so you can know the difference between what is right and wrong. May the Lord open your mind and fill it with His wisdom. May He also fill you with peace. I, too, am opposed to this bill, SB1, because it takes away my individual right as a citizen of Hawaii. I feel same-sex marriage is a sexual preference, not a divine right of God. The Lord says from Malachi 2:15, "Didn't the Lord make you one with your wife? In body and spirit, you are His." And what does He want? Godly children from your union. This is my belief, and I stand by God's will. I pray that you vote no to this bill, SB1. I thank you for allowing me to speak, but most of all, I thank God for His goodness and strength. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right now, we're in the 1400 to 1600 block. If you are in the 1600 to 1800 block, please register. And if you are in the 1800 to 2000 block of numbers, please start gathering to come down for registration. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Rich Curran, 1556. I'd like to read an excerpt from a letter written by a man over 2,000 years ago. For a time is coming when people will no longer listen to sound and wholesome teaching. They will follow their own desires and will look for teachers who will tell them whatever their itching ears want to hear. They will reject the truth and chase after myths. This man was not a prophet, but he sure nailed it as far as I'm concerned. I'm opposed to SB1. I don't want it amended. I want it dead. There seems to be two issues here that need addressing: the definition of marriage and the granting of benefits to the LGBT community. It also seems that these two issues can be resolved fairly easily if our elected officials really want to resolve them. Abercrombie and a large group of elected officials really don't want that to happen. They want their way or the highway. They are not interested in what the majority of the people want, or we would not be here today. Our elected officials were elected not to represent their own personal views, but rather to represent the will of the majority of the people. I understand that they also have an obligation to see that the minority is not neglected. You can do that. You can kill this bill and leave the definition of marriage alone. And then you can amend the Civil Unions Bill to give the benefits to those who wish to go that route. Is that so hard? Or am I right? You don't really want to represent the people. You just want to have it your way.
Thank you. Next up.
Hello, and thank you for having me speak. My name is David, and I am a member of New Hope Leawood. I've spent 26 years in the United States
Can you state your number,
Navy.
please? Number. Your
I have spent 26 years
registration
in
number, please.
my number,
Uh-huh.
1434.
Thank you.
Okay. I've spent 26 years in the United States Navy, and I'm a retired veteran. I've spent more than half of my life visiting other countries and states, and I've seen the good and bad in all places I have visited. I chose to live in Hawaii because of the good things that I have seen there. There are two main reasons for this decision. One was because of the widespread Christianity beliefs in Hawaii, and the second was the moral beliefs that I've seen on a day-to-day basis. For that reason, I felt that I could raise my son and daughters to be positive role models with biblical backgrounds and the Bible as their instruction manual. If SB1 passes as it is written, this would not only cause a conflict with the Bible and Christianity beliefs, but has a possibility for our residents to lose faith in the state because of dictatorship. I pray and beg you to let the people vote to help restore faith to our state and set an example and standards for our country. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Next up, please.
Aloha. My number is 1596. I am Jerry Yasuhara from Kapolei. I am the mother of 2 and have 3 beautiful grandchildren. I really appreciate that you are taking the time to listen to all of us. I oppose this session because it rushes the democratic process. I believe that the people of Hawaii have already spoken. In 1998, when I voted for the amendment to our Constitution, it was my understanding that I gave you the power to reserve marriage to opposite-sex couples. I never thought that I was giving you the power to redefine marriage. I cannot recall any discussion about this possibility prior to the election. I oppose this bill because there is not a single word on religious exemptions for fraternities, organizations, charities, businesses, or for me as an individual. I hope you recall that former Judge Elwin Ahu described this bill in its current state as a lawyer's dream. I urge you to consider my rights and protect common citizens like me from costly lawsuits. I am most concerned about parental rights. Not one word in this bill preserves the rights of parents to opt their kids out of classes which they consider to be contrary to their moral or religious beliefs. This is definitely not right. You hold parents responsible for raising their children, so please protect their rights to do so. For these reasons, I urge you to vote no on this bill, and if you think we have changed our minds, you need to ask us again. Thank you.
Next up.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alex Agsalud. Number is 1651. Before I came in here, I was thinking that what if when I talk it thunders? But that wouldn't be necessary because the Word of God is alive and active. It's sharper than any two-edged sword, and it penetrates even to dividing the soul and spirit, and it judges the thoughts and attitudes of the heart. I come here today in the hopes that you will hear the voice of God. Have we forgotten that you, America, have become the most blessed, most powerful nation? Do you know the reason why? Just in case you don't know, it's in the dollar bill. It says, "In God we trust." But that isn't a guarantee, because the way we are doing things right now, I don't know if that blessing will be continued. Have we forgotten that you, everyone, is created in the very image of God? Have you forgotten? Have you forgotten that with the 7 billion people that are alive, was born from a man and a woman? Have you forgotten that we're gonna all die? And that's without your control. We have no control about that. And we're gonna be appearing before God. And we'll be accountable for everything that we do here on earth. So, I don't know what your thoughts are, but
Okay, thank you very
we have
much.
hope.
Next up, please.
Aloha, my name is Vivian Malzahn. My number is 1797. I am a registered voter from Ever Beach, and I'm opposed to Bill SB1. This is an important bill, and a special session simply does not allow enough time to adequately discuss all the issues. There is no reason why this bill cannot be heard during a regular session and given full consideration to ensure that all constitutional rights and privileges are protected. I lead the women's ministry at my church in Hawaii. To plan a major event of 500, my committee will take up to a year to ensure that every detail and caveat has been discussed, vetted out, and addressed. I wonder how this committee in good conscience can consider passing such a bill that is poorly written in the limited time frame that this special session has, and that it will affect the entire population of our state forever. A yes vote in this session is really a no vote to democracy. The right and democratic thing to do is to let the people decide. The religious protection clauses in the current bill do not protect individuals' First Amendment rights, including freedom of speech and the freedom of religion. The bill should reaffirm individual rights to speak freely and to freely practice their religious beliefs, even if such beliefs do not endorse the homosexual lifestyle. In other states, there have been incidents of people being sued, fined, and even jailed for speaking out against or refusing service to same-sex unions. This is a direct violation against our First Amendment. My questions and concerns are these. What provisions and protections are written in this bill that protect a pastor, a priest, a rabbi, a church, a mosque, a temple, a photographer, a wedding and event planner, a caterer or florist, or any other business person to perform or provide services for a same sex, or to choose not to perform or provide services for a same-sex union, or wedding, or baptism, or baby dedication, or birthday, or any other event because of their religious beliefs?
Thank you very much. Again, if the block from 1800 to 2000, if you could come down so you can check in at the registration desk. 1800 to 2000. We are currently in the 1600 to 1800. Okay, please come up next.
I am Elizabeth Godinez. My number is 1615. I have a Bachelor's of Science of Nursing degree from Hawaii Pacific University. I have been married for 21 years to an honorably discharged member of the Marine Corps, and we have 3 children of ages 20, 13, and 6. We attend New Hope Leeward. I oppose this session because it disregards the people's vote. I believe that the people of Hawaii have already spoken. In 1998, constitutional amendment gave marriage to opposite-sex couples, not the power to redefine marriage. I oppose this bill because I have 2 school-age children that attend public school. I am opposed to have them learn about alternative ways of sex. In schools, we have moved from teaching the children abstinence to the health dangers of sex out of wedlock to teaching them how to use a condom. We have moved from allowing the children to pray and express their belief in God to not even being able to say the Pledge of Allegiance because it mentions God. And look where we stand now, attempting to pass a bill that further degrades our core values. I oppose this bill because it goes against our forefathers and this nation's beliefs, which is under God. I oppose this bill because it sets God aside. It's saying that we don't agree with God and we're going to change his decree. If we set God aside and do as we will, what will become of this nation? What will become of the state of Hawaii? What will happen to the people? God gives us free will. He gives us the choice to live the lifestyle we want. He gives us the choice to believe what we want to believe, not the choice to change his decree. Why you, the legislature, are not giving the right to the voters to choose? I oppose this bill.
Thank you. Next up.
My number is 1727. My name is Betty Ito, and this is my husband, Richard. I'm testifying in behalf of both of us. We live in Nuuanu and have been registered voters for all of our adult lives. After 5,000 testimonies, probably everything I will be saying has already been said. but I feel, or we feel, that it is important that our voice also be heard. We wish to express our strong opposition to SB1 for the following reasons. 1, we believe that it is against the United States and Hawaiian Constitution. 2, it is against the laws of nature. 3, it is against God's law. 4th, the majority of Hawaii citizens have voted against this issue. 5, it will open a Pandora's box of related issues of a moral and sexual nature. This very decisive issue should not be rushed and should be decided by the Hawaiian voters. As mentioned earlier, the majority of the Hawaiian citizens have repeatedly voted against this issue. I urge you to vote no on this bill or let the people decide. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. At this time, I would like to call up Uilani Feleunga if she's still here.
My name is Uilani Feleunga, and I oppose this bill. I'd like to first thank you guys for being so accommodating to my medical condition. So,
Thank you. If you can speak into the mic,
Okay.
and for the member, she is 4886, but we're giving her a medical exemption. She just missed the cutoff when we were calling the 4,000, so we're allowing her to testify at this time.
Thank you. Okay, like I said, I oppose this bill, and I ask to please let the people vote. I believe we all have a right to choose who or what we want to be in this life. I believe same-sex relations is a choice unless you are the rare exception and born with male and female parts. I had a cat that was that way, that's why I say that.
Audience, if you could
I
show some
believe,
respect and
if you're
refrain.
born with two parts, then it's not a choice. I have heard of many say that being gay or lesbian is not a choice, that they are born that way. Therefore, they deserve equal rights. I have heard of gay or lesbians say they were gay or lesbian all their life until one day they chose to change that way. And now they are in a one-man, one-woman marriage and very happy with children. So I believe it is a choice, not born that way. So I ask that if the law is changed to give all people equal rights because of a chosen lifestyle, why not make gambling legal for the people who choose to gamble? They say that they have to fly to California to get married, to come back and receive benefits. Well, gamblers have to fly to Las Vegas if they want to gamble. That's just your choice. We have to fly to other states if we don't want to pay taxes on certain things. Everybody makes choices for the lifestyle they live, and usually you investigate the place you're going to live to see if it fits your lifestyle. So I ask to please let the people vote on this issue, being that it was already voted on in 1998, and the people chose not to pass this bill. And I find, thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, please.
Hi, my name is Debbie Dodulau. My number is 1690. Dear Honorable Chairs Rhodes and Luke and members of the Judiciary and Finance Committees, I am a registered voter from Mililani, a mother of two, a concerned citizen, and I strongly oppose SB1. You've heard many testimonies opposing this bill because it has many flaws. Other people assume that the consequences that the people in Massachusetts face will not happen here in Hawaii. But are you all willing to take that chance? My family and I would be heartbroken and devastated if you chose to take that chance and gamble our lives based on mere assumptions. As elected representatives, you know that you can't truly represent the interests of all individuals in your district because there are always two sides. So I urge you to leave that decision up to the voters in order to get a more accurate representation of what the people of Hawaii want. In our household, when we have to make a big decision, we pray on it and wait for God's answer. And it can take weeks or months. But we wait upon the Lord because we know that the decision made will benefit every member of our family. What more when it comes to this entire state? Therefore, I ask you all to oppose SB1 or kill the bill. This bill would change Hawaii forever, and it will affect every individual. So why not allow the people of Hawaii vote on this matter come election time next year? Please don't make a rushed decision. Thank you all for allowing me to speak from the heart. God bless you, and I pray God gives you all the wisdom to make the godly decision. Mahalo.
Thank you. Next up.
Aloha, legislatures. My name is Cory Nojima, and my number is 1855. I humbly ask you to vote no to SB1. I would like to thank your staff and anyone assisting with this process for your time and dedication to allow me and many others that have been here for the past week to speak our piece about this worthy cause. I was born and raised here. I'm a Christian, a Native Hawaiian woman, a mother, and a registered voter in the Aiea district. As a mother, I want to protect my son's future and generations to come by asking you to vote against this bill. I feel this bill is being rushed through without enough protection for our keiki and ohana, as well as my Christian beliefs. The possibility of businesses, churches, and anyone against this bill to have lawsuits brought against them is alarming. I don't believe an issue of this importance should be decided in such a short time, and furthermore, this bill is not well written to protect my rights. Please do not treat the people of Hawaii as smart and intelligent people who were smart enough to vote you into office, but simultaneously saying we are too ignorant to vote on this important issue. Again, I humbly ask that you give us our voice back and let us vote. Lastly, I ask that you remember your decision should not be your personal or political gain, but please put the welfare of the majority of the people, most especially the ohana, first. Please let the people decide. Mahalo for this time and opportunity, and I pray that God blesses all of you with his wisdom as you make this difficult decision. Aloha and mahalo.
Thank you. Currently, we are in the 1800 to 2000 block. Can anyone with 2000 to 2200 please report to the reception desk in the auditorium? Next up, please.
Number 1896. My name is James McLoves. I oppose SB1, and I'll say later what is SB1 stands for at the end. Mumbai get kicked out now. But anyway, I'm a father of two. I got my daughter here, he's 13, my son is 15. He gave his testimony on Saturday. And all you guys turned from him, disrespect him, did not look at him while he was giving his testimony. I fear my kids of Hawaii, when they use their restroom, I'm going to have to, bad enough, I already go there and wait till they come out of the bathroom, just for any perpetrators. Now, I can be one perpetrator, dressed like a girl, go inside. What going to happen after that? How are you guys going to justify that? And all the churches, I stand for all the churches. All these pastors going to get sued, the church going to get sued. Just, this bill can't even just go through. I don't even know how you guys, where is the governor in here? He called a special session. Why? Because he know if we all voted, then this would not even happen. But I feel all the kids of Hawaii, their education, There's going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of hate. Planning, I don't know. This is unreal. We shouldn't even have this discussion right now. By the way, my name is James McLaws, and I do not approve this message. SB1 stands for Stupid Bill Number 1. Thank you.
Next up, please.
Honorable Chairs Rhodes, Luke, distinguished members of the Judiciary Finance Committees. I am Craig Ishizaki from Mililani, and my number is 1948. I oppose the special session and SB1 for the reasons already expressed by so many others, so I won't regurgitate what has already been said. I have observed this past week the passion expressed on this bill. You have a very difficult task to find a way to preserve our beliefs, concerns, and values on both sides of the issue. If you cannot author a bill that stands on its own merit, minimizing litigation during the special session, then a prudent action is to examine, investigate, and evaluate this issue during the regular session and/or put it on a ballot and let the people vote. The same-sex relation issue has been discussed for decades, and civil unions became law. In 1998, when we voted, and I voted, marriage was defined between a man and a woman. But SB1 appears to be redefining the definition of marriage and imputing a different lifestyle on our society. The way I see this issue is like water and oil, two distinct lifestyles and beliefs and concerns. I believe merging the two cannot be done without denying one group's rights to favor the other. I am a Christian, and I believe God is the creator and created all of us as equals. As the creator, he gave us his instructions on how we should live here on earth through the Bible. He created marriage between a man and a woman and gave us a way of life to live through his Son, Jesus Christ. If we change God's instructions, we oppose God and take the position that we are above God. Whether you believe in God or not, we all will have to give an account one day to the one who created us. Vote no on SB1 and let the people decide. Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you.
Thank you very much. Next up, please.
Chair Rhodes, Chair Luke, distinguished members of the committee, good afternoon. Rather, it's good evening now. My name is Yolanda Agsalud, and my number is 1871. I strongly oppose SB1 on grounds of my spiritual belief that the sanctity of marriage is reserved between a man and a woman, which was ordained since time immemorial. What is happening to our society now? Why do we have to fix something that ain't broke? Secondly, it circumvents the democratic process. We are now on the seventh day of this deliberation, and still it's not done. According to the KHON news last night, it is already costing us $34,000, and it's still rising. This tells me that few days is not enough to fully discuss such a complex and divisive issue. May I humbly ask, why are you such in a rush to make such a decision? Why do we have to go through a special session? None of the other states which do not have the same-sex marriage are rushing through a special session like we are. I heard another lady say us earlier, whatever happened to our Hawaiian time? This is probably the most divisive issue you have ever had to face because it strikes at the core of the deeply held religious beliefs and individual rights. I think you are well aware that there is a sizable portion of your constituency who does not support this bill. You are not a robot, so please vote no.
Next up, please.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Wayne Permito. Happily married from Eva. Happily married to Shirley.
Can you state your name and number again?
Oh, my number is 1942. Wayne Permito. Happily married to Shirley. Kids, Ryan, Brandon, Austin, and Alyssa. I oppose this bill because there is not a single word on religious exemptions for religious organizations, charities, fraternal societies, for businesses, or for me as an individual. I'm sure you are well aware that individuals have been sued for speaking out after bills similar to this one were passed elsewhere. I urge you to consider my rights as well and to shield people like me from costly litigations. Let me state again, the SB1 has not a single word to protect my individual rights. Mahalos.
Thank you. Next up.
Good evening. My name is Luella. I'm a registered voter in Waipahu. My number is 1848. Hi, Representative Tai. Thank you, Chair Rhodes and Chair Luke and House members. I am strongly opposed to Senate Bill 1. I want to address Governor Abercrombie and Blake Oshiro. Both of them are literally driving this train and yet are not taking the heat for this. I don't see any of them here listening to the thousands of testimonies. Why? Maybe they don't care. They probably already decided. He said that the majority shouldn't rule, but that the governor said if one voice stood out to him that he felt it was right to him, it'll win in his mind. What? I'm sorry, but who voted you in? Oh yeah, the majority, and that didn't include me. This whole sweeping session is orchestrated by the governor. I ask that he take responsibility, get down here, and listen to the testimony after testimony. Every one of you are voted in because you represent the majority. I don't believe what he said before a few days ago. Justice delayed does not mean justice denied. It's prudence and it's due diligence that needs rendering. Equality is the word that the LGBT community activists has to legitimize their fight. They already have equal rights and benefits, and they're going to fight for more, which is fine. But I don't believe that marriage is meant for the homosexuals. It's for the heterosexuals, and it doesn't equal, no matter how you say it, it doesn't equal out. You need another name to describe their relationship. Marriage is trademarked and patented for one man and one woman.
Thank you. At this time, we'll take some questions. No questions. Thank you very much. Okay, Representative Har.
Mr. Wayne Permito, 1902. Good evening. Thank you very much. Did I pronounce your last name correctly?
How you pronounce them?
Permito?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for your testimony. Something that you said struck me. You said that I object to this bill because it gives me no protections as an individual.
Yeah, because I might say something that might put me in a risk with the law. They might sue me just because get this bill out when I just might be expressing how I feel.
So you have concerns that if this bill were to pass, or some type of same-sex marriage bill were to pass, that you as an individual, are you talking about your rights of conscience, your right to believe what you want to believe is under attack?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other questions? Otherwise, we wanted to thank the testifiers. Okay, next up, please.
$1,895.
Aloha, my name is Denise Bartimus. I am a registered voter of Eva Beach, born and raised in Waianae. I represent my husband of 9 years, Jason, and my 2-year-old son, Jace. I stand by my written testimony, but wanted to add my thoughts from the last week, and I stand in opposition of SB1. I am concerned as a citizen, a Christian, Native Hawaiian, wife of a small business owner, and mother. The language in this bill is not strong enough to protect our religious freedom. This bill is intended to create a right, and protect the beliefs of few while infringing on the already established right of the many. And to do so in a special session while circumventing the will and voice of the people and not taking adequate time and doing your due diligence to vet this bill is lazy, arrogant, irresponsible, disrespectful, and illegal. While it is not written in this bill, we know from other states the ramifications that such laws have had in other areas. One such area of direct concern to me as a mother is teaching of same-sex relationships or alternative lifestyles in schools. It is my right as a parent to teach my son the morals, values, and traditions our family holds dear. It is no more right for someone to make me teach my son about same-sex relationships than it is for me to make someone teach their child about God and the Bible. In closing, may I humbly offer some recommendations for you to consider. If this is truly a matter of benefits, then introduce legislation in Congress to recognize civil unions on a federal level and keep marriage defined as one man and one woman. If you pass this bill, you will have ignored the democratic process, wasted all our time, and spat on the grave of those who have died to uphold our freedoms. Do the right thing and let the people decide.
Next up, please. Next up.
Thank you, distinguished committee and chair, for your time. Aloha to the people of Hawaii and the LGBT community. My number 1913. My name is Walter Fujioka. I'm opposed to Senate Bill 1. I'm an Air Force veteran of 25 years. I served honorably. I have watched fellow brothers in arms give the ultimate sacrifice and have died to protect the rights of the people. I have done everything this country has called me to do. I'm calling you to do the right thing for the Aina. Okay. Fix the bill so that there are no loopholes and that there's no ramifications. Do not change God's definition of marriage. In order to accommodate the poor written bill, we the people are represented by you to do what is right. Our voices cry out. Do the right thing, listen to the people. Reaffirm your pledge to serve the Aina, not the cause. God's design cannot be changed, or we the people suffer, and the people will be held accountable for your actions. Eyes to hear, eyes to see, ears to listen. Listen to the people, for they have chosen you to represent us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up.
Aloha, I'm Gail Andaya Aquino, registration number 1883. I was once a menace to society at one point in my life, but my whole life changed when I gave my life to Jesus Christ. I no longer was caught up with the self-desires and selfishness. I became not my own anymore, all because he saved me. Not to say that my human tendencies doesn't surface from time to time. We're all sinners. But I have the tools, the Bible and prayer, to suppress any emotion, to go back to my old ways. I say this because I am a product of a life change because of Jesus Christ. Not only that, I am a mother now. I need to care enough to see how this affects my children's future. And quite frankly, a 7-day session doesn't give me that time. If I can teach them about Jesus, well, maybe they can be saved early on from living a life like mine when I was a menace to society. If I teach them the ways of the Bible at home, including loving our LGBT community, and they go to school and learn otherwise, well, it would make it difficult for me to raise my child. The ways of the world versus the ways at home will be worlds apart. I also find it appalling that if this bill passes, there's a huge possibility that I will become parent A or parent B on my future children's birth certificate. I am my child's mother. No one can take that away from me. I labored in the hospital bed, carried my children for 9 months to bring them into this world. This goes deep for me, and I'm sure for many mothers out there. I am a mother. Don't strip that title from me. Yeah, it's only a piece of paper, you say, but don't say that to your mother. It runs deep, I tell you.
Thank you.
I oppose this bill.
Next, please.
Aloha. My number is 2081. My name is Violetta Bernard. I am a registered voter from Kapolei. Thank you for the opportunity to let my voice be heard. I strongly oppose SB1. I lived in Hawaii for over 40 years, raising my family here and making Hawaii our home. As a mother and grandmother, there has been times when my children and grandchildren have asked for things to buy, places to go, things to do, and even certain people to hang out with. As a parent, it is my job to set rules and boundaries and not always have them do whatever they want. This is where loves come in. This is where we have to take authority and know when to say no. They may not always understand why, but we must do what's best for them. In the same way, you, the government, representing the people, must put your foot down, draw the line, and say no to redefining traditional marriage. God created marriage between one man and one woman. We should not change that just so people can receive certain rights and benefits. To be clear, I am against this bill, not the LGBT community. You can love people and not agree with their lifestyle. I am against this bill because, as the bill states, it will give them certain rights and privileges. However, at the cost of losing minds and many others. First Amendment.
Thank you very much.
I oppose this bill.
Currently, we're taking testifiers from 2,000 to 2,200, and if 2,200 to 2,400 could come to the reception desk, and 2,400 to 2,600 start getting ready to come down. Thank you very much. Please state your name and number.
My name is Stephen Kaibo Verd, and my number is 2085. Sorry. Hello, Honorable Chairs Rhodes, Luke, and members of the House Judiciary Committee. I strongly oppose Senate Bill 1 and the way it's being presented to the people. I myself am a veteran, of a third-generation veteran. My grandfather fought for this country in World War II and also the Korean War, and my father fought for this country in Vietnam, and I followed suit. We love this country. Members in my own family have died for this country. I strongly oppose this bill because it's redefining the nature of one man and one woman being wed together. I don't see the purpose of rushing anything like this, a bill that has to go to a special session. It doesn't make sense to me. I would say something like this where the people, obviously there's thousands of people that have spoke on this issue, and it's very dear on both sides, very dear to everyone's heart. So to rush something like this through that is obviously dear and close to all of us, it doesn't really make sense to me. I know that you're in. I respect the position you guys are in, and I know that you have been put in that position for a reason. And I know that you'll do the right thing when it comes to considering this bill, whether or not to push it forward. Again, I humbly ask that you reconsider this special session and trying to rush things forward, because there's no reason to rush things of this nature forward. And I just thank you for your time, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next up, please.
Aloha. My name is Matt Bright. My number is 2075. Chair Rhodes, Chair Luke, members of the Finance and Judiciary Committee, thank you for allowing me to testify today. But most of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I think all of us can really appreciate that. In 1998, I voted for a ban on same-sex marriage. Well, at least I thought I did. Yet 15 years later, here we are again. Did my vote count? I'm not sure. The 1998 amendment reads, the legislature shall have the power to reserve marriage to same-sex couples. Yet the governor, attorney general, and some legislators interpret this as allowing the legislature to enact same-sex marriage without the consent of the people. How is this possible? I believe on Thursday, when I was watching testimony from the attorney general, Representative McDermott asked him to read what the amendment stated. And his answer was that the legislature has the power to enact same-sex marriage. That's not what I see. That's not what I read. That's not what I voted for. But that's what the amendment says. I believe the intent of the people in 1998 was for a ban of same-sex marriage. I also believe in equal rights for all people. If the gays, lesbian, and that community want equal rights, I'm fine with that. But who are we to redesign God's definition of marriage? Who are we to change that? What's going to be next? An interpretation of the Ten Commandments? Where does it end? As legislators, all of you took an oath to defend the Constitution of the state of Hawaii. The preamble to that Constitution states, we reaffirm our belief in a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. I humbly ask you today to do what is right, to do what is just, to do what is pono.
Thank you very much.
Let the people vote again.
Thank you. Next up.
Hello, Honorable Chairs, Rhodes, Luke, and members of the House Judiciary and Finance Committees. I fervently oppose Senate Bill 1 because of the language in the bill and the way it's presented to our state and the world.
Can you state your name and number, please?
My name is Derek Peterson, and my number is 2080. I'm a Kanaka Maoli, Christian, veteran, patriot, civil servant, and registered voter in Representative Collins District. My research has proven to me that not one state has spent the time to carefully write a bill that will attempt to address the entirety of the LGBT community. If a piece of paper and the money that they bring to our state is all this is about, then allow them to get it. But not this way. This bill goes much deeper. This bill affects every resident in the state of Hawaii, those who plan to and visit, and those not yet conceived. With that many people to be affected by a bill of this magnitude, why such a quick special session to vote on a hastily drawn-up bill and pass with the expediency of a roadside prostitute? I want you, the House members, to work with the Senate and spend the time to research and draft a bill that we as a state and for the majority could support and be proud to display to the rest of the world. I did not elect representatives, senators, and a governor to write and pass poor legislation. As written, this bill will affect small business owners, judges, and even the exempted religious organizations that allow the public to use their facilities. You will be imposing this bill on the state of Hawaii and an enormous population to satisfy 0.02% of our current population. Is it possible to amend the current civil unions bill to accommodate that 0.02% without changing the definition of marriage for the other 99.98% of the population? There is so much confusion about this bill. Kill Senate Bill 1.
Thank you. Next up.
Aloha and mahalo for allowing us to be here to voice our opinion. My name is Amy Intendencia, and this is my husband, Henry Intendencia. We are under the same number, 2058. Where am I? We are registered voters. In Mililani, we're also active leaders in the community and retirees. We are coming up on our 40th wedding anniversary this coming January. I believe that marriage is between one man and one woman. And we stand here together for our 24 grandchildren and one great-grand, for their rights and for their future.
I'm a Vietnam veteran, fought for my country for freedom. For this freedom allows you and I the privilege to vote under the 15th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. Wounded twice in Vietnam, and I stand here fighting once again. This bill, we object. SB1, totally. Thank you for the opportunity to appear for you.
Thank you very much. Next up, please.
My number is 2000. My name is Tyler Spencer. I'm a resident and registered voter of Oahu. As I understand, SB number 1, same-sex marriage or civil unions are given the same rights and benefits as traditional marriage. What is in debate is how these rights facilitate or disintegrate financial, educational, healthcare, social, and political ramifications in the lives of all Hawaiian citizens. I urge all residents of Hawaii to read the bill. Do not rely on anyone's interpretation of it for you. I plead with the government to let the voters decide. I believe in holy matrimony between a man and a woman, and I also believe that civil unions can have equal rights and benefits. I oppose the bill, SB number 1. Thank you for the opportunity to be heard.
Thank you very much. Next up, please. Yes, please come up.
Hi, my name is Jaylene Deliso, and my number is 2208. I strongly oppose this bill, and I know you folks heard things over and over these past days, but I just want to share my heart. I just come before you all to ask you to please not pass this bill. I believe that God created man and woman and designed that marriage be between only a man and a woman. God also told us to be fruitful and multiply. So how can a man and a man or a woman and a woman create an offspring? It's just not a natural thing. If you allow this bill to go through, many people will get some kind of disease that is already out there because they will be practicing something that was not intended to be. Once again, it's just not a natural thing. But don't get me wrong, I love all different types of people, but I just do not support their lifestyles that they live. The good thing that is coming out of all of this is that many people are hearing the real truth of God's word. If this bill is passed, all of you who allow it to go through will be held accountable for it. So you all may change the laws of Hawaii, but you will never change the laws of God. Thank you for your time and thank you for your service.
Thank you. Currently, we're in the 2200 to 2400 block. I think we already called the 2400 to 2600 block. Please be ready to go. Okay. So next up, please.
Hello and good evening. My number is 2296. My name is Paul Ringhose, and I'm a registered voter. I strongly oppose SB1 because I feel it would be the wrong thing to do. If this bill was to pass, my children and other children as well will be taught about the gay lifestyle and the gay sex in the sex education school, and parental rights along with religious rights will be taken away. Why should my children be forced to watch something that my children choose not to watch? It ain't right, it ain't normal.
Could
We
I
are
ask
afraid
the
of the
audience
damage.
to settle down so I can hear this testifier?
I'm sorry, okay.
Oh, no, it's not your fault.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
It ain't right, it ain't normal. We are afraid of the damage and confusion it would cause for this generation and the next. And my wife and I are against it as well. A majority of the people of Hawaii cares of what this could do to Hawaii and to their families and to the churches throughout the state. Women's rights will be taken away if the opposite sex fails to use the restrooms. There's a lot that needs to be studied carefully before passing anything. So why rush this? Especially something like this. Every night before I myself or my wife puts my kids to sleep, we pray. And when I do, I pray for forgiveness of sins. I pray for protection and covering for the Hana and for the household. I pray for the leaders of the state and the nation. I also pray to express love and peace and respect for others, and to set an example. And sometimes we can get carried away by praying because all kinds of things will come up. And when we're praying, especially with things like this, and when we're done praying, my children ask, Dad, how would be the best way to set that example? I tell them, let them see the Jesus in you. So I, as a father, and my dear wife, do the best we can to teach our kids the best that we can and to teach good morals. And then marriage is between a man and a woman. So I humbly ask you to please vote no on SB1 and let the people decide. Let the people vote. Thank you. And
Thank
God
you
bless.
very much. Next up, please.
Hello, good evening. My name is Jillian Ringhose. My number is 2315. I'm here tonight to oppose SB1. I'm here with my husband and my 3 children. I'm kind of worried about this bill because it goes against a lot of the morals that we have as a family. I have 5 older brothers and I'm the only girl. I'm the 6th child, and I don't have anybody gay in my immediate family, but I do have a lot of coworkers. I am a hairstylist. I'm in the field where there is a lot of transgender, a lot of gay people around, and I express my love to them all. There are my brothers and my sisters. Just like how I sin, they sin. It's against my beliefs, but I love them just as much. We go out to lunch, we do things together, it's okay. It's fun, but just don't express to me what you do in your own home. I don't express what I do in my own home. That's between me and my husband. So passing this law goes against what I feel I have a right to have. I have a right to be married to my husband, not just anything, anybody. If you pass this law, next who are we going to be able to marry? What else are we going to be able to do? And also the protection of my children, their rights of sex education in school. I took my daughter out of 5th grade sex education because they had stick figures showing where they stick things. They don't need to learn all these things. They're not at the age where they can comprehend things. So please vote no against this bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, please.
Aloha, Chair Rhodes, Chair Luke, distinguished members of the committee. My name is Monica Kaluhiva, and my number is 2365. I oppose this bill because there are insufficient protection for religious organizations. based on how it is currently written. My church would not qualify for any exemptions. Also, there is not a single word on religious exemptions for religious organizations, charities, fraternal societies, business, or for me as an individual. I'm sure you are well aware that individuals have been sued for speaking out after bills similar to this one were passed elsewhere. I urge you to consider my rights as well as to shield people like me from costly litigations. I want to remind you again that SB1 has not a single word to protect my individual rights. I also have a question from my 12-year-old granddaughter, and she says, I am a future voter of Hawaii. What will you tell the future voters? Will their votes count, or will it ever matter? And tell me, what can I give her? What will I give her an answer? I thank you for the opportunity to appear before you.
Thank you very much. Next up, please.
Good evening. My name is Tersha Koo. I'm number 2233. I'd like to say thank you very much, Chairwoman Luke and Chairman Rhodes. I really appreciate this opportunity to participate in this democratic process. And the first thing I need to say is you guys look the way I feel. Okay, I see the eyes glaze, I see people nodding off. Fortunately, I did get to take a little nap, and it wasn't in the eyes of everybody before you. So I applaud you. You're working really hard. That's what you were elected to do, and we really appreciate this. I stand in opposition of SB1. You know, this, I feel, has been such a fast-tracked bill, and I want to ask you to let the people decide. 15 years ago, in 1998, the people decided once, and they decided that traditional marriage should be traditional marriage, and that was between one man and one woman. So I ask you, please let the people decide. Part of my concern about the committee is that you folks already know what you're going to vote, and many of us here are just going through the motions. I feel like you've awakened a sleeping giant. You know, 90 years ago, President Coolidge gave a speech about the duty of a citizen, and he spoke about voting. You know that 1 year from this date, November 4th, 2014, is Election Day. Please, I ask you, let the people vote. I stand here, I thank you for your time, I thank you for your hard work, and I thank you for allowing us to participate in this wonderful democratic process. Aloha.
Thank you. Next up, please.
Aloha, my name is Aileen Ivalani Cook-Palmer. I am number 2213. I am here in opposition of SB1. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here. I am a mother of two and a registered voter of the Nanakuli district. I am a family physician, born and raised in the Nanakuli area, educated in the public school system at Nanakuli. I still live and work there and play there every day. I am a product of my community who benefited from my blood as a Hawaiian, Black, Chinese woman of low income status. I fully appreciate equal rights. I believe in and am for equality for people, regardless of race, gender, or national origin. It is our civil rights. We do not choose this. However, sexual orientation, preference, same-sex marriage is not. I oppose SB1 because it circumvents the democratic process. On November 4th, 1998, the people of Hawaii have spoken. The constitutional amendment gave the legislature the power to reserve marriage to opposite-sex couples. I voted. The people voted. your people voted 69% to 28% approved this amendment. I stand here today as a mother and a servant leader. I have never come to speak before any House or Senate committee, but I feel that you do not listen as we spoke in 1998. Instead, you are trying to suture my mouth closed, changing my words from 1998. On behalf of my family, on behalf of my God, I stand before you. If you believe that the people, we, the people of Hawaii, have changed our minds, then please ask us again. To vote yes on this bill is to vote against the express will of the people you serve.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this point, we'll take some questions. Any questions, members? If not, we wanted to thank the testifiers. We'll move to the 2400 to 2600 block. Thank you very much. Please proceed. And then at this point in time, if the 2600 to 2800 could also line up. Please
Ready?
go ahead.
My name is Michelle Galoyu. My number is 2542. I need to invoke the names of the late, great Patsy Mink, Daniel Inouye, and Martin Rice, all who believed in civil rights for all who believed in equal marriage rights for all. One of those House representatives sitting up there clerked for Patsy and would be so ashamed to see that she is not upholding what Patsy Mink taught her. Supporting civil, I read recently, the opposite of love is not hate, is fear. And that is what I've heard for over 20 years. I have been testifying on this same issue for over 20 years now. I know I don't look old enough, but I am an early childhood educator. I am part of NIAC, National Association for the Education of Young Children. One of our code of conducts is that we are to represent all our families and honor all our families. It doesn't say male and female. It doesn't say male and male. It just says all families. Pew Studies, the Harvard School of Early Education have done studies, and what is important in a child's life is to have a caregiver or caregivers who care about them, take care of their personal welfare, take care and love them. It doesn't say anything about gender. Making sure these children are safe and loved and appreciated is what is important. And my favorite childhood author, his name is Todd Parr. The book is It's Okay to Be Different. It's okay to have two mommies. It's okay to have two daddies. It's okay to eat macaroni and cheese in the bathtub. Please, I wholly support Senate Bill 1. Please pass this bill.
Thank you very much. Next up, please.
My number is 2565. My name is Nora Schubert. Marriage equality threatens traditional marriage in the same way that abolishing slavery made freedom less enjoyable for white people. Think about that. I stand here in strong and unequivocal support of SB1 and my fabulous and amazing gay family members and friends. For the record, I am straight, but definitely not narrow. I stand by my written testimony, and I add the following. I have listened to much of the testimony presented. It was repeatedly said that this bill is being rushed and that the people need to decide the marriage equality issue. I'd like to remind everybody present that the people did decide in 1998, and they gave the authority to our legislature to take action when necessary. This is the time that it is necessary to take action. How is this special session rushing an important civil rights matter that has been waiting over 20 years to be made pono? 20 years. Taking action now is not rushing marriage equality. The LGBT community has waited 20 years, and I say they have waited long enough. The civil rights of a minority group should never be put to a popular vote. Marriage equality is a civil right. History proves that if slavery, racial segregation, and the right of women to vote had been left to the people to decide, we'd still have slavery, segregation, and women like myself would not have the right to vote, and we would still be the property of our fathers or our husbands. Times change, societies change, the world around us changes. Charles Darwin said that it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change. Fear of change can be paralyzing and inhibit the ability of people to grow, expand, and evolve. Life is not static, even a rock changes over time. I implore you to pass SB1 because it is a civil rights matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, please.
Hello, my name is Tiana Wilkinson. I'm number 2544. I am in support of SB1. And thank you, I want to say in contrast, thank you for not rushing this process. This has been really amazing to see that we've all gotten to have our voices heard, and I really appreciate that you guys have taken that time. I'm from Waiahole Valley. I live in Kaneohe now, and I work in Waianae. I've been here all week, or last week and this week, and what I've really seen is just people are scared. They're scared what's going to change if marriage equality is passed. And I'm here to say I'm from here. I lived a short time in Massachusetts. I met the love of my life there, and we got married in Massachusetts, and we had all of our family and friends around us, many Christians, and it was an event about love, and our marriage has only been about love since then. We're not interested in walking around talking about what we do in the bedroom in public. That's not what marriage is about, right? We just want to be able to love who we love and to be legally recognized and have the same rights legally in the courts. That's all we're looking for. We're not looking to change curriculum. Let me tell you, if I'm getting a wedding cake and you're not supportive of my marriage, then I'm not going to get a wedding cake from you. I'm going to choose to get it from someone else. So I just want to reiterate, this is about love. There's so much about, this isn't about discrimination. This isn't an equality issue, but for those of us who have sat in this audience, I've watched our allies cry, going, I can't believe you guys put up with this all the time. And this is what we live with, right? For those of us with leis that we wear leis every day of our life, metaphorically. I mean, this is our lives, and people are discriminating against us. And how powerful would that be if we weren't before the legislature? Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, please.
Good evening, honorable chairs, vice chair, and members of the committees. My name is John Luna, number 2595, registered voter out of Kaneohe. This SB1 bill divides our Aloha state. When SB1 intends to convey certain rights to the LGBT community, but simultaneously undermines long-established First Amendment rights of religious expression, it is a seriously flawed bill and should be rejected outright. The governor got it wrong when he testified that everything that needed to be said has been said. I was compelled to testify before you, and I also attempted to do so in the Senate, because so many others have not been able to testify or cannot testify. As elected officials, which includes the governor and Senate, your constituents are all the people of Hawaii, and not just those who voted you into office or those with the loudest voices. Your constituents also include the huge block of unregistered voters who, for one reason or another, did not participate in the elections. And my concern is for the thousands upon thousands of children who have no voice. I'm standing for my school-age children and their generation because your decisions affect them directly. Are we not trying to reach pono, bring people together and do what is right for all of Hawaii? This SB1 should have been straight up entitled Relating to Marriage. Call it marriage and spend the time exploring the ramifications and consequences of what a same-sex marriage law will bring to Hawaii. Let all the people of Hawaii understand what's being proposed and then deliberately and conscientiously vet it out. It was just plain wrong to label equality, say the bill is just about equality, then attempt to slide it by an uninformed public in a short special session. I liken SB1 to a contract that I'm about to be asked to sign without really understanding the terms, conditions, fine print, and consequences. If I sign that contract without true understanding, I abdicate my responsibility over my family. I also reject Special 1 because too many learned people, including State Attorney General, cannot explain how the law has been applied.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My number is 2498. First off, thank you very much for sitting up there for the past couple of days, allowing the people of Hawaii to share their testimony. I am Terry Luna, and I oppose SB1 in this special session. While I may oppose this bill, I don't oppose or hate the many LGBT friends and family that I have in my life whom I love dearly. However, as a mother to a 15 and a 5-year-old, their education is very important to me, and it concerns me about the possible shift in their curriculum. Should this bill pass, please allow the people of Hawaii to decide on changing the definition of marriage, which should be between one man and one woman. Amen.
Thank you. Next up, please.
Aloha, my name is Ivan Nishimura. My number is 2474. I am a lifelong resident, registered voter, and taxpayer in the state of Hawaii. To this legislative committee, mahalo for the opportunity to exercise my privilege as an American citizen to address you all. I would like to state for the record that I am strictly opposed to Senate Bill 1. Marriage is not a right nor a civil right. Marriage is and has been a sacred sacrament between a man and a woman that was secularized and turned into laws by governments. This bill, as it is written, is flawed, and it oversteps the boundaries of my First Amendment rights guaranteed to me under the U.S. Constitution in regards to exercising my religious freedoms. I also feel that this special session is not long enough to fully vet through this controversial issue and does not allow for any amendments that can be made to this bill. It seems that this bill is trying to be rushed through for the political interests of a few, not for the entire welfare of the people of the state. No other state in this union is rushing to pass this law, so what's the real rush in passing this bill through? I humbly ask these committees to consider killing this bill today. If you pass this bill, you will show disregard to your constituents, reveals that your politics are more important than your interests of the entire district that you represent and your moral character. Aloha and God bless.
Next up, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Drew Frigilano, number 2567, and I stand in opposition for SB1. I have the privilege of serving in and working with communities, nonprofits, schools, families, and individuals with varying needs, regardless of gender, ethnicity, creed, statuses, or background, to make a positive impact for today and our future generation. We're so fortunate to live in a state that is full of aloha, full of breath, accepting of all cultures, nationalities, and traditions, streaming from strong foundations, good morals, freedom, conscience, faith, hard work, and family. However, I fear today we stand so close in breaking and weakening our foundation, losing our identity, our uniqueness, our strength, and our values that makes this state so beautiful. Opposing SB1 is not about rejection or religion. It is really about protection, protecting the aloha, the foundation of Hawaii, and continuing to build upon what is right, what is true, and what is sacred. It is about protecting the voices of Hawaii and the ramifications this bill may bring because of the ambiguity, lack of process time, and attention it needs. It concerns me greatly that this bill will prevent my freedom in how I serve, how I minister, because of my faith, my convictions, and my beliefs. The overwhelming response and the sacrifice it took for thousands of people to be here, to be present, despite the short time, must account for something, and is evidence that this bill is not something that can be decided upon in a matter of days or a week by a group of legislatures. For those of you who are undecided and are for this bill, please let down your guard, open up your hearts and your ears, and give this bill the due process it needs in a regular session where it can properly be vetted and examined. Please allow the people to be heard and their voices to be heard, and not allow this important matter to be decided in a special session by just 76 people. I just want to close with this last question. Is the committee going to release and total the number of testimonies for and against SB1? Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, please.
Aloha. I'm Kavika from Nanakuli Homestead. My number is 2469. I wasn't going to say anything. I'm not I don't vote, but when I heard all this, I had to come out and say something. I oppose this for the sake of my grandchildren. Just a couple weeks ago, I was down at the beach, down there Waikiki, and here these two guys swapping spit, and I have my grandchildren. Now I gotta explain to them what these two men are doing. I mean, that was the hardest thing to do. So, you guys, You guys believe in God? You guys believe? Remember Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? Remember Sodom and Gomorrah. I love all you guys. But what is right is right. God, you all need God. I oppose this. Aloha no.
Thank you. Next
I
up,
will
please.
vote. I will vote. And I'll remember you guys who vote no. And I come from a big family. Everybody will vote. I'll make sure. Now I am a voter. You brought up you woke up the giant in Hawaii. Everybody in the media, get out there and vote. These the guys going to help us or not?
They're not filming.
Civil rights.
No, he was pointing.
It's not on civil, right? It's on preference. It's what you like. This is last.
Okay,
God bless
thank you.
guys.
Next up.
Brothers and sisters of the committee, aloha. My number is 2573. My name is James Louis. I'm born and raised in Hawaii. I come before you today in strong opposition to SB1. Having been here for the past week, I have watched many come before you and would ask you today to open your hearts and minds to what I have to present to you today. I've seen many come before you in support of this bill who have made statements such as, pass this bill as it is. This bill is not about the children, not about education, not about the future. I'd ask you, are these the statements of a people who truly understand the meaning of love and ohana? The people of Hawaii also deserve the truth. As I have studied the bill and compared it to the messages I have heard in radio commercials and the online QA of Hawaii United for Marriage, I've been presented with information from that group that does not tell the public the true effects of the bill and that misleads readers. In closing, I would ask you to pay close attention to the message of the next testifier and to ask yourself, what is truly the best for our children, our educational system, and the future of our islands? I humbly ask you to say no to SB1 and to let the people vote on this issue. Mahalo for your time.
Thank you. Next up, please.
Aloha, my name is Victoria Current, and I oppose this bill. My number is 2570. I'm not the greatest public speaker, so I'm actually going to sing, and yes, that's how I want to spend my 2 minutes. I want to be a window to his love. So when you look at me, you will see him. I want to be so pure and clear that you won't even know I'm here. 'Cause his love will shine brightly through me. I want to be a doorway to the truth. So when you walk beyond, you will find him. I want to stand so straight and tall that you won't notice me at all. But through my open door, he will be seen. A window to his love, a doorway to the truth, a bearer of the message he'd have me bring to you. And with each passing day, I want to fade away till only he can be seen, and I've become a window to his love.
Mahalo, and please let the people decide.
Okay, next up, please.
House Judiciary and Finance Committee chairs and distinguished members, I am Evelyn Castaneda, number 2477, here to oppose SB1. The people voted to keep marriage between a man and woman in November 98. The executive branch of government capriciously used subterfuge to diametrically oppose the people's mandate and rushed passage of this legislation to redefine marriage. Our people overwhelmingly oppose this bill. The civil rights being trampled upon are those of the voters who spoke in 98, trusting their government heard them and put this issue to rest. Let's keep the land perpetuated in righteousness. The proposed bill granting rights to a special interest group denies rights to other groups, defeating the meaning of equality. We need to consider the many negative ramifying effects. If passed in every situation that marriage affects society, the state will expect Christians and all people of goodwill to betray their consciences and condone through silence an attack on natural and Christian morality. Their agenda desires 3/4 or 38 states to adopt marriage equality because it automatically becomes a federal constitutional amendment. And we will be just like Canada, Europe, and other jurisdictions now experiencing many problems. Marriage is not a requisite for benefits and tax breaks. States having marriage equality teach kindergartners same-gender sex, which is their hidden agenda to capture the hearts and minds of the next generation, turning schools into indoctrination centers. Sex education curriculum in its present form is not age appropriate and is a failed experiment. They are giving children a how-to manual on relations that are harmful to one's life and health. Teen pregnancies increased dramatically after the introduction of sex education, impacting medical costs. An antiquated law repealed is the rule of thumb, where a man could beat his wife with a stick no thicker than the girth of his thumb. Article 1, Section 23 of the Hawaii State Constitution represents the will of the people and shouldn't be repealed as an antiquated or non-relevant law. Vote no. Thank you.